Alright, guys, it's time to start the live event. Just giving you guys time to log in and obviously watch the event. Don't forget to RT and obviously on Twitter. Retweet the link that you're currently watching the event on, the YouTube link, of course, and also do it on Facebook if you don't have Twitter, as we're going to need a lot of people to start a discussion about today's possible names, and also going to be talking about a lot about news and possible names, as I said, that might be coming to Milan. The names that were discussed this week by the many medias, and of course names that were discussed by Galliani and Berlusconi. And I obviously know you guys are here particularly for one player that is very much rumored nowadays, in the past few days, especially. Um, One of the players that might be making a return to Milan, and which is Kaka. But before starting, I just wanted to let you know that if you're not liking me on Facebook already, please do so. Please type in AC Milan MTL on Facebook and like me on that page as I post Milan news day after day, and also keep you up to date with the latest news, of course. And during matches, I put live match feeds. So if you guys aren't able to attend the game, if you guys aren't watching it at home, you'll also know what's happening with Milan at the time of the game. If you don't have Facebook, please do so. The same thing on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at AC Milan MTL for the same thing, news of Milan match, live match feeds, and much more. So today I'm going to be talking to you about news and mainly new names that are on Milan's transfer list. But before starting, there are already a few comments by you guys. Comments by Juve Cassano. Reports claiming Real Madrid and Milan have agreed Kaka deal, loan until 2014 with buy option. Galliani could close the deal. Oldest gamertag, which I salute by the way, says Kaka. JIC333 says real one Kaka. Really want Kaka, Baltalia Ogbona. So I will be talking about many players today. I will be talking about Kaka as well, but he will appear later on into the show because we're gonna have a vast discussion about him, and really I want to leave the best for last. But for now, I will be talking about mainly players that have been mentioned this week by Milan, and players that are possible to that have a possibility to come to Milan in this transfer window. So I say we should get started right away. First of all, with some news. So over the week, Galliani has announced that Andrea Petagna and Brian Cristante will be moved up to the first team next year. So these two players, of course, play in the Primavera at the moment, the Milan Primavera, and also play with the U21 Italian side. These players have been showing really fundamental skills to their Primavera side and are currently one of the best players in Italy to be playing at that youth level. So these two players will be moving up to the first team next year, and these are great news for us Milanisti because I must say that these players could obviously bring a lot to the team because they have great qualities. Petagna is one of the great scorers, as well as Cristante. Another player that I would also like to see moving up to Milan is Simone Gans. This guy has been scoring lots and lots of goals for Milan, the Primavera side, of course, and definitely deserves an option to move up to the first team starting next season. Last week I also mentioned about Riccardo Saponara that he will be joining Milan next season, so in the July training camp. as Milan have acquired as rights. But I will be mostly talking about now the new names in this Milan side and who Milan should be getting out of these names, who I want them to get. Obviously, these names are all names that are possible of coming, but at the same time, it is very difficult that they do come, mainly because of money wise. As you know, Milan has been having many financial problems, as Galliani mentioned, for months now. And he has said that it is very hard that many players might be coming to Milan, and that good players, players with high wages, will probably not be coming to Milan. This is also a reason why he has declined that Balotelli will join Milan this year, mainly because of his wages and that Milan can't afford him. So I think we should get started with the names. As you can see, there's a long list on this video, at the bottom of this video. And it's all names that have been rumored by different medias, different newspapers, different journalists, and it's names that could all be coming to Milan. But today we'll be evaluating these players more in depth, mainly to know why these players could be joining Milan, and if they're worth playing in Milan, of course. Just before starting, I have some more comments regarding your Brian Cristante and Andrea Petagna. Juve Casano says Brian Cristante is someone I admire, especially that he's from Canada, which is also where I'm from. His first call up in the Champions League was nice. Yes, I remember he got called last year actually for a game. I don't recall against what team, but I remember he did play. And Petagna is a mental player, as he has seen. He has Milan's most goals in the Primavera. As I said, Petagna and Gans are Milan's future. These two players are crazy players that could bring a lot to the team, of course. And we will have to see how they manage with the first team starting next year. LP Junior 17, which I welcome by the way, says two fantastic players for our future. Let's not rush them though, but let's see how they will do. Exactly, we have to see how these players do perform with Milan, and that of course Milan need to play these players during the friendlies, especially in the summer, where they will get familiarized with the team, and of course have a good start of the season next year with these players. So these are all players I would love to see in Milan: Petagna, Cristante, and of course, Gans, Simone Gans. So we'll be starting with the discussion of the names, of course. There's another comment here from OS Gamer Tag. When Boyan was asked who youth players impressed him the most, he mentioned Mattia Valotti, which is another great player, and Cristante. As I said, Milan have a great youth coming up, and they have to, of course, make the most out of it. They have the players. Right now, there's so many good youth players that Milan has they obviously bring up to the team. But at the same time, we need the experience. Galliani wants to build a team that is mainly made up of youth, young players, players that have a lot of possibility and a lot of talent to play with Milan. And now I understand this perfectly. The thing is that we also need experience. We can't build a team of 11 players that are 11 starting players that are especially, as I said, youth players, young players. We need the experience. We need characters that obviously will bring the motivation to Milan and will bring uh, the skill that is needed for these youngsters to learn. And they need to teach them in this way. So let's start. The first name that's been linked with Milan this week is actually Schelotto. Ezekiel Schelotto plays in Atalanta. Um, really, he has a lot of skills as in terms of running. He's also a player that's very physical. I like how he plays. The thing is, will he be made for Milan? Now, this player, as I said, he's a good player. I mean, he's been playing. He's a winger, and he has shown a lot of success with Atalanta. But I don't believe he's really qualified to be a Milan player. As we see his past teams, really, he's been playing with Cesena, Atalanta, uh, teams that obviously are not up there in today's calcio. Not a player that really is will be really fundamental to the team. I believe we don't need these players. We shouldn't really be spending money on these players, as he's 23 years old. I mean, he still has a long career ahead of him. But really, I don't believe that he's a player that could make a real difference to the Milan side of today. We're gonna need someone way more than that. Someone that could uh, obviously has great qualities, not good qualities, because nowadays we need great qualities in this Milan side. And I really don't think that this player has it with him. Obviously, not a goal scorer. He's only had about 9 goals in his career. I mean, he's 23 years old, but he's not a scorer. He's not a goal scorer. He's Argentinian as well, but he has an Italian citizenship. That means if Milan would obviously think of getting him, he will be allowed to join in this transfer window. As we know, last summer we did acquire Gabriel from in Brazil. That means that we had wasted our last European spot for signings. That means we won't be allowed to sign any player that doesn't have an Italian or European passport in this transfer window. So that excludes many possibilities, of course, in this transfer window. Juve Cassano has a comment about Schelotto, and he says that he doesn't fit Milan's system. He's more of a left mid rather than a left wing. He reminds me of Camoranesi, but he's a bit more defensive. Yes, I agree that even uh, his look kind of resembles Camoranesi, of course. Um, and not to get me wrong, Camoranesi was a great player, but really, I don't think he would really fit Milan's system, as you mentioned. He's a player that he hasn't scored that much, and really, I don't see him as a Milan player. His qualities are okay. We need something way more than this, of course. Uh, GIC also agrees that he doesn't have the skills for the shirt, like a lot of wannabes on the roster, and I do agree. There's a lot of them in Milan at the moment that we definitely need to send out of this team. Um, really, as I said, Oz Gamer Tag once again agrees as well. He's a right winger, but I don't think he can do the job. And as I said, it's not what Milan need at the moment. So yes, guys, don't forget to we wanted to engage in this discussion about with the generated window transfer. Um, so please leave your comments on the players that I'm currently mentioning, and we want more people in this live event so we can discuss more of these signings and give your ideas so we can discuss about them and they can be aired on live on this live stream. So it also gives you an opportunity for yourself to appear on the live stream. The next player I want to be talking to you about is a young Suk-Young. Now, this guy has a quite a funny name, I must say. Yuck Suck Young. But Yeah, he's of Korean nationality. Um, he's a young player, 1990, so he's about 22 years old at the moment. Plays in South Korea for the Chunam Dragons, and really, I have no idea why Milan really got linked to this player now. There's many teams actually following this player. They say that he has a great future ahead of him. Um, he mainly plays as a left back, and he has been scoring actually a few goals with in Korea. He has 4 goals in 80 games. As a left back, I wouldn't say it's too bad since you are playing in defense the whole time. Sometimes you're also moving up on the attacks, but it's not too bad of stats, I must say, for a young player, 22 years old. But we obviously need to see this player, how he could develop in Europe. This player has been, as I said, he's been playing in Asia his whole life, and really he has no experience at the European level. So it's something that Milan will obviously be risking if they would want this player to go to their team. As I said, no experience in Europe. We would have to see how this player would obviously play with in the European side. So this is another possibility that I would personally exclude from Milan this season. Just see if you guys have any comments on this. Seems like you guys don't. So I will be moving on to the next player, and of course, next player is Icardi. Now, this player is a youngster that has really, and I can't stress this more than that. He's a player, 19 years old, currently playing for Sampdoria. And this player has shown his great qualities over and over again for Sampdoria. We obviously noticed this player once when he played against Juventus a few weeks back, and he got himself a double to a brace to make Sampdoria win over Juventus a few weeks back. 19 years old, 1993, he was born. A great player that obviously Milan could, I perf- I would say, could really benefit if they do get him. He has 4 goals in 15 games for Sampdoria, which is really good for a 19-year-old. Um, and really has great qualities that I really like. He owns an Italian passport, so obviously he's Italian. He's not really Italian, but he's Argentinian, and he owns an Italian passport. That means that Milan would have the possibility of signing him. He also plays for the Argentinian U20, so this player has a bright future ahead of him. He has a future that many teams would actually want this player, as they've seen his recent form in the past weeks. He also had a good game against Milan last week when we played Sampdoria. So this guy could really bring a lot to any team, and especially Milan, as Galliani wants to continue and sign these players, these young players. So I say for the forwards, it will be a great addition. However, as I said before, um, forwards is not a position that Galliani really wants to involve himself with. We have problems in defense and midfield, and up to now there haven't been many names that have come up for these two positions. So we would have to see what will happen in the next week or so. If you guys have any comments on this player and tell me what you think about him, if it would be a great addition to Milan, um, and let me know what you guys think of him. Always Gamer Tag says we already have Niang. As I said, it will be a great addition to the team, but we already have a lot of forwards at the moment. Niang is amazing. He's an amazing player that really could grow a lot in this Milan side. He has a contract till 2018. 5 years from now, this player could be really, really fundamental to Milan. Personally, as I said, he needs to start more, needs to involve himself more with the game. As we seen yesterday, Milan's friendly that was played at Milanello against an amateur team. We have won 10-1. Obviously, not a contest, just a training match. But he has scored 3 assists and a goal, which shows that this player could provide a lot of assistance for the forwards and can also score. Niang is a great player like that. This guy could grow a lot, and I'm sure he can bring a lot to the Milan side. Juve Cassano says, here's a player that will fit perfectly in what Milan's management want when implementing youth. And as I said, Icardi could really bring a lot to Milan. He's a player that has the qualities and has the touch to score goals. As we see him versus Juventus, he could bring the goals to the side and could make them win games. 19 years old, this level playing like this, scoring goals against Juventus, against Gigi Buffon, a goalkeeper that is high up there, Great, great for this player, and I really hope that he continues possibly in this career that he has. Um, so yes, next player I want to be talking to you about is Fabio Borini. Obviously, you guys probably know him from Roma. Yeah, he's a very young player again. You obviously know him from Roma. He has been transferred to Liverpool last season, and let's just say that he doesn't have didn't have the best of times so far at Liverpool. Um, as I said, he's a good player, very young, can bring a lot to Milan, but right now we have to evaluate something else. As I said, wages and money plays a big part in Milan nowadays. We all know the financial situation that we're in, and I hate repeating this, but we won't be making great signings as in terms of players that we would die for. We won't be getting the players that we would die for in order to get them. We'll get players that are good, decent, that can bring to teams, but don't expect how could I say, players like Mario Gomez or something like that. We won't be getting players that are highly waged like that and that could bring a lot to Milan. Now, Borini, I believe he went to Liverpool for a fee of 15 million, which is a lot for a young player like him, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for Milan, and really, Milan don't want to waste 15 million on anyone right now. Um, I mean, where has all that money gone from the sales of Thiago Silva and Ibrahimovic? What is this, guys? We keep asking ourselves the same questions game after game, day after day, month after month. Yes, we have sold these players. We have saved so much money on these players. We have saved on their wages. We were expecting us to buy someone very important last year in the summer. Who did we get? Boyan on loan. Who did we get? De Jong. These were not players that we had. I mean, yes, we did get them, but it's not players that we really wanted in order to build a side and opt for a good future. These are not the players that we wanted. So where are the promises that Galliani made last summer when talking about the sales of Thiago and Ibrahimovic? Where are these promises, guys? It really upsets me that to this day, I remember we sold Thiago and Ibra back in July. It's been what now? About 6, 7 months. And he still doesn't have a bright idea of who to get. He doesn't have the mind to think. He doesn't have his mind set on someone in particular. He has his mind set on millions of players, but doesn't have a concrete decision to make, which is really not understandable from Galliani. I mean, this guy, we know him that he's been making great signings all his life. He's been making crazy signings out of nowhere. We know he's been smart in the past. But where is he now? Where are the players that have promised, he has promised us with the money that Ibra and Thiago Silva provided us with? Really, it doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense. After 7 months, he still doesn't have his idea on one particular player to get. And it's crazy. We're about 2 weeks away from the end of. I'm sorry to say this, but it's very difficult that we will get that third spot. Mainly because of various management decisions I keep repeating time after time. And really, it's very frustrating now to see this, but that's how it is. It's really incredible. Uh, as I'm looking at some comments you guys are making, sorry for the rant, but I just had to, man. I'm just so frustrated with the decisions right now. GIC 333 says, that's what I'm saying. That money must have been blown on pizza. I don't want to make a comment right now, but I think we all know what Berlusconi obviously blew his money on. And we all know it's past. I don't want to mention this on the live stream because really there's no place for this. But incredible how we saved so much money on wages, contracts, etc. So much money, over 60 million, and we can't even buy a player that's worth 15. They don't even want to opt out for a player that has 15 million dollars euros to his value. It's really something very not understanding right now. Really something incredible. Otis Gamertag says UEFA financial fair play. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but maybe elaborate on what you're saying. But teams are doing way worse in the UEFA financial fair play. Milan is one of the best teams right now at the moment, and really, Milan, as I said, they're one of the best teams at the moment in terms of keeping that UEFA financial fair play. Um, and trust me, with the money they got from Zlatan and Silva, they could obviously buy a player with that money. And I'm not saying to waste 60 million on the player itself. I'm saying even two players of maybe 10 each, which is 20 million. What does it do to you? Like, it's two players of 10 million. You know how many good players there are at 10 million value? There's really a lot, guys. And what I call this is poor management. Really poor management. Continuing here with the comments, JC says they should have just kept Zlatan and Silva, and then maybe Cassano would have stayed as well. We'll be tops in Serie A now. This is obviously an opinion. There's a lot of good teams at the moment. Maybe we would have been first place, of course, but in the tops, yes. We'll have been in the top 3, 4, guaranteed with those players. And of course, when players like that leave the team, now I don't want to start a whole discussion on this, especially because I want to be talking to you about the other players as well. But I just wanted to tell you that there's so many names right now that Milan still don't know who to decide to get. And with 2 weeks left, we still can get a player on our team. We still can make a signing that is important on our team. Maybe because of the decisions that we've been making all this time. And it's incredible to see. This is like another transfer window wasted. It's incredible. Continuing with the comments, Juve Cassano says the money's in Berlusconi's pocket. That I figured out a long time ago. In all seriousness, it was forced sale as Milan were 90 million in debt. But seeing Berlusconi is back in politics, he should be spending more. I do agree with you. I'm saying yes. Milan needed that money to pay the debts, etc. But with all the money they saved even on wages, which went over 90 million with the wages, I'm saying the contracts that they obviously were going for, and the wages obviously went way more than 100 million. But as I said, what would it hurt? It wouldn't hurt to make even two signings of 10 million, even one for God's sake. We still even haven't made a good signing of worth like that 10 million. We got ripped off by Inter by giving away Cassano and getting Pazzini, and we have to pay 7.5 million for him as well. What kind of deals are these guys? It's incredible. Continuing here, LP Jr. says, very true. Still can't understand the Mezbah signing. The problem is these players are now just sitting on their contracts, so you can't move them, which ruins our future plans. Another point to bring up. All these signings, which I really don't understand, Mezbah, Bonera, Antonini, what are these guys doing in this team, guys? What are these guys doing? What mind do you have to have in order to sign a player like Mezbah? Like, how could you even imagine playing in a team like Milan? How could you even, guys, how could you even think of bringing Mezbah to Milan? No, you guys, really, I'm confused. This guy barely gets any playing time, first of all, which is a good thing because I really wouldn't want him to play. Thank God. We got Bonera that's like making 100 mistakes every game. We got defenders like Maxes, another guy that's what's he doing playing in Milan? Our defense is, I don't want to say as worse as Pescada, but right now it's in really bad conditions, guys. In a month's time, we have the most important game of the season against Barcelona. I really think that Galliani wants to make a bad impression of himself, guys. That's it. How could he not be thinking of signing any defender or midfield, at least some creativity to the team, with a month remaining to that crucial fixture, or fixtures, should I say, because it's two legs, against Barcelona? It's really incredible at the moment, guys, because I really don't understand how they could even think of not getting a defender midfielder. Well, all this time, in all these months, not even like a clear idea on someone to get. They wanted to get Santon, but that's only if Abate would leave. But at the same time, that's replacing a player. It's not adding to the team. As I say, 32 players is too much. Hell, loan it to some players, to some teams. Galatasaray was going after Antonini, but after they found out that he couldn't play in the Champions League because he already played with Milan this year, they finished the deal. They're like, nope, we're not getting it. Mesbah was supposed to leave as well. Please, someone buy these players, guys. We need people to buy these players. It's enough. I don't want to see them anymore. It's something really bad to even look at them in the face. These players are not Milan-like, and there's so many at the moment on Milan. I don't even know what they're doing there. That's why when I do talk about all these players here, I want them to make signings that they won't regret in the future. Signings that they are sure of, not just because of the name. A name like, let's say, um, any name in general. I just don't want them to say, oh, he has a name. We know that player. He's been playing amazing all his life in this team. Are they sure he's going to do the same when he comes to Milan? They know what Milan's game plan is. They know how they play their matches. Would he fit their matches? Would he fit their match performances every game? That's the players we need. Not players that, like Pazzini, he's been scoring amazing goals with Sampdoria. He's been doing amazing for Inter. But he's not been doing that great with Milan, guys. That's mainly because he doesn't really fit the system we're playing. Continue with the comments. Continue here. I remember Mr. X. That must have been tough. Yes, Mr. X. Who did we guess? Incredible. Vizlan Crafter says, I've arrived late as always, just here for Kaka. I will be talking about Kaka in a few minutes, guys. Of course. LP Jr. says, I'm sure Mr. X was, I'm sick. We settled for Aquilani. Uh, I just don't understand some signings we made, guys, in the past, really. It frustrates me to even think about and remember them. Yes, exactly. Like Juve Casano says, not adding to the team. I can't believe a good center back has even been mentioned yet in the market reports. Exactly. We haven't, as I said, not even one center back has been mentioned by any media, really, that's concrete and could obviously bring a lot to Milan as in terms of defending. And we do need these center backs. Like, I don't understand. Always gamer tag. Milan don't obviously like to announce their target so that their price don't go up. Just saying. I want to make a comment on this. I understand perfectly what you're saying, announcing their targets, but do you really think that with all the players they've announced, if it's your psychology like this, and I'm not going against you or anything, but with all the targets they've announced, as I've said, all these players right now, the players I've been mentioning in the past market reports, if they really wanted to acquire them, they wouldn't even say one name. So this goes on for any player in general, any target in general. So it's not the thing that they don't want to see their targets because they don't have any targets in those departments. They don't. They might have a few, but they don't have real information on them. They don't really want to go after them because if a team really wants to go after a player, if they have their ideas really on them, if they have their ideas positively that they're gonna get that player, that player is gonna be Milan like. Any team would go after that player right away and get him on the spot. That's not Milan. They don't have their targets, their specific targets. GIC333 says we went from European powerhouse to mid-table team in 1 year. That's the story of Milan this year, guys. 2-3 years to rebuild. I personally don't think it's enough. I might be sounding negative right now, but I really don't think it's enough. 2-3 years for Milan to get back to winning ways. It's gonna take a lot more than that, in my opinion. Yuri Cassan says Balotelli, they'll need to announce it though. It's obvious they're going after Balotelli as Raiola was seen and confirmed as at Milan's HQ headquarters. There's no doubt Balotelli is a target. He's a target, but as I said, I don't even want to be thinking about forwards right now. We all obviously know where the problems are in this Milan side. We know. We watch every game. We know where the Milan problems are at this moment. And all they're talking about is forwards, attackers, some midfielders. Where's the defense? They're not even talking about any defenders, guys. Barely any defenders. Why? That's what we have to work on, guys. Not on the forwards like Balotelli and all these guys. We have our forwards. Galani has been saying this whole time that Balotelli is not going to come. We have Yang. And really, I wouldn't mind if he doesn't come. As I said, I prefer that we focus on defenders rather than forwards. That's what we have to focus on. I'm going to continue now with the players because there's still a few players I need to talk about here. So I'm really sorry about that rant. I just had to make that rant considering all these players that I've been talking about, and we haven't yet made any signings on the 18th of January, 13 days before the close of the January transfer window. So next one would be Andreoli, a youngster that plays for Chievo at the moment. Obviously, a good young prospect. He also plays in the Italian U20 and U21 side. He used to play for them back when he was younger. He's now 26. He's a center back, but Obviously, coming from a team like Chievo, don't expect too much. He also played with Inter and Roma for a few games, not many games. And really, I don't think it's a real player that Milan would want in their plans. As I said, he has Italian experience. He knows the league pretty well now since he's been playing a while in it. As I said, if a player like this has left Inter and Roma, there must have been reasons. This player wasn't ready enough for good quality teams, and that's why he's been playing in Cable since 2010 now. And that's another reason why I believe that we shouldn't get this guy. Um, I'm just looking at his stats right now, and really, he made his debut when he was really young, 18. I'm pretty sure he was a good player back in the days, and I'm pretty sure he still is right now. Thing is that if he had left Inter, then went to Roma, and left Roma, and now he's in Cable, there must be a reason. At 26, and you're not playing in one of the top teams, as what I said, a team like Cable, we see that Cherby playing Cable and we want to get him. And what has he done this season? Nothing, guys. It's always these players that we go after. Never any great quality players, mainly because of the money. I'm just frustrated to see even these players been mentioning on various medias. Uh, Juve Casano says, great rant. The truth has to be said sometimes. And I completely agree with what you said. Thanks for agreeing with me. And really, the truth needs to come out sometimes. And that's what it is. If no one speaks up about these things, who's going to do it? It's enough to see um, all this time wasted, months and months of waste, coming to no conclusion. He also mentions Andreoli is not the best option despite being a prospect. Ogbon has to be the ideal choice. I just see him as another Cherby, sadly. As I said, coming from Cavo is not known to bring fundamental players to any good team. And obviously, we would all want Ogbona to play with us instead. Uh, Next player I want to be talking to you about is actually Centurion. Now, this player has been linked with Milan, um, and I mean, as I said, he's been linked with Milan, and he currently plays in Argentina. And sorry, guys. As I said, he currently plays in Argentina, and his name is Emmanuel Centurion. Um, this guy can't come to Milan either way, even if they do get him. Mainly because, as I said, he doesn't have an Italian passport. Um, and really, he's not made for. I don't think he's really made for Milan, to tell you the truth. As we know, these young players, when they go and they come from the South American sides, they're not always the best. The only good players I've ever seen really from South America that play at the moment, such as Neymar, he's a good player, but we have to see these players once they come to Milan. Once they come to Europe, are these players playing when they come to Milan? Is or any European side is the real question. This guy is only 19, and I mean, he's been playing in Argentina. If you guys actually take a look at his pictures, it's actually quite funny to look at. He looks like a drug dealer or something. But he plays in Argentina, 19 years old, still very young, and he mainly plays um, with his team called Racing Club in Argentina. He plays on the right wing, a player that is good with dribbling. He's good on one-on-one situations. As I said, he obviously plays on the wing, and he's very good apparently at changing sides when passing. He has a good vision, in other words, and he's been many times compared to Di Maria. But this player, as I said, will not be in Milan's options this transfer window, mainly because of his European pass. He doesn't have an European passport, and Milan can't sign any more non-European players in this transfer window. So we would have to wait till summer if Milan have ideas on this player. Um, Actually, I would want to see more of this player because he seems interesting, and if people do compare him to Di Maria, I believe that that is a good thing. As we know, Di Maria is one of the best players right now in Real Madrid, and he's been bringing a lot to Madrid. Um, as I said, 19 years old is still very young. We would have to see how this player obviously develops in Europe. We haven't seen him in Europe playing at all. So really, it all depends how this guy performs in Europe. It's a risk to take, but we would have to see. Obviously, the Argentinian league is nowhere close to what the Italian league is. Next player I want to be talking to you about is Bellomo. Bellomo plays in Bari. He's a young player as well. Most of these players I've been mentioning today are young because that is what Milan are opting for. They want young players to fit in their team. They want to build a youth development. This guy is 21 years old, plays for Bari in Serie B. And he's actually this guy is playing in a city that is very close to where I used to live. So in a way, if he comes to Milan, I'll be really happy to see him there, as I can relate to him. But that's not what I really want to be talking to you about. This guy is an attacking midfielder, 21 years old. Many teams are actually looking at him right now. Another team that's currently looking at this guy, um, such as Inter. Inter's also looking for this guy, and Milan have actually offered 2 million for 50% of this player, as he's owned by different teams, and 50%, 2 million for this guy. Bari rejected it. They actually wanted a bit more. Not sure if it was 2.5 or 3 million. Sorry for that, but they wanted more. They wanted more for this player. So really, this guy is amazing. Amazing player. Plays for Bari in Serie B. Uh, Plays also for the Italian side. He's been playing for the U19 Italian side and also the U21 Italian side. But as I said, he also has a 3-year contract with Bari, which he signed in 2011. That means his contract will expire in next July in 2014. And if Milan really want to go for this player, they're gonna have to pay more than 2 million because, as I said, they already rejected. Bari has already rejected Milan's offer. Uh, just look at some other comments. If Milan want an Argentinian talent, I go for Dybala, who Palermo currently own. Yes, Dybala is a great player. As I said, there's way too many names in this Milan side that we are currently looking for, and there's no particular player that Galliani is looking at. Too many names and no choice at the moment. That's how it is. Juve Kassan also agrees on Bellomo. He likes this player and says he could bring a lot to Milan, of course. And I'm pretty sure he could. I mean, if a lot of teams are looking at him at the moment, um, it means that this guy has to be worth something. So, as I said, if Milan don't make a higher offer than to him, Bari won't let him go. Just another last comment now. Don't let Inter get him. Buy him just because Inter want him. I would want that too, but as I said, we will have to see what Milan decides. And now it's the time you guys have all been waiting for. The time of Kaka. You guys obviously want the latest news on this guy. Um, you want to know what's going to happen for this player, if he's going to be coming to Milan or not. And let's just say, guys, that from the beginning of the week to now, there has been a lot of discussion about this player. Kaka, a player that has been playing with Milan for a really long time. He has won a lot with Milan. He has won the Champions League with Milan. He has won, I believe, the Club World Cup with Milan. Um, it's a player that could do a lot for Milan, guys, if he comes back. Now, you guys are saying, why can he do a lot for Milan? We obviously know what he has won with Milan. We obviously know the influence that he has on Milan. And we know that this player, it's not only about his tactical ability, his technical ability, but it's also because of his great love for the club. The fans love him. He can bring a lot of motivation to this team that we desperately need at the moment. He can bring a lot to this team. He obviously knows the playing system that Milan's with at the moment. This player is living a very sad time at Madrid. He's been benched game after game, not getting much playing time. He wants to leave. He's even offering for a cut in his wages to go play for Milan, to come back to Milan. When Milan sold him to Madrid, it was probably one of the worst times of our lives as a Milanisti to see this player go. A player that has won so much with us, and we let him go to Madrid. And Madrid have ruined this player because many players came throughout the years, such as Luka Modric, that took his place, and now he's not playing. He's been benched many games, and we obviously want this player to come back to Milan. The question is, guys, will he be coming to Milan or not? Now, this player has been in talks. Galliani and Perez, which is the Milan, which is the Madrid owner, have been talking a lot about Kaka, and obviously they want Milan to buy the player. Galliani doesn't want to buy, as usual. He wants loan. He wants to loan these players to Milan. He wants to get them by loan, and he doesn't want to pay anything. But it seems that reports have been saying that they have agreed to a deal, and that on Tuesday Galliani will fly out to Madrid to finalize this deal. These are the latest news that we have at the moment, guys. The news that Kaka will be possibly coming to Milan next week. This all depends on this meeting that will be going on Tuesday. It's very difficult right now, but reports have been saying that there has been an agreement. But it will be very difficult to actually see if this agreement is true or not before that day. On Tuesday, many things will be revealed. Since Galliani will be flying to Madrid, they will obviously discuss about this player, nothing else. So a decision might be made on Tuesday about Kaka. We will have to continue looking at this very closely to see if Milan will be getting him or not. As I said, even last transfer window, we've been trying again and again to get this player, and in the end we couldn't get him. In my opinion, if we don't get him in this transfer window, we won't get him ever again. Mainly because we obviously know Madrid's intentions. We obviously know what they want to do with this player. It's either they sell them or they don't. But Milan also wants this player to come back to Milan and bring the motivation that is much needed to this team to do well. Some comments from you guys. Yuri Kassan says, the way I see it, although it was tough to see Kaka leave on the business side, Milan made a great deal worth 70 million, not getting him back for way less. But yes, Madrid ruined it. 70 million is obviously a lot of money. As usual, players like this leave for a lot of money. 70 million is a lot, a lot, a lot. But as well, we have to say that over the years we got some players such as Ronaldinho, Beckham, Ibra, Thiago Silva, all players, of course, that we got before this apparently financial crisis that Milan is going through. It's a player that I would love seeing in Milan again. He obviously brought so many emotions and great times to Milan with all the things that he has won. Really, it's great to see that Milan are still going after this player, and right now, it's him that they want. We know this player not only as a great player, but also has a great personality. We know that he always influences players for the good. He always brings a lot to the team, not only in terms of technical ability, but also as in terms of motivation to the team. And seriously, I think if we do sign him, he could be Milan's turning point this season. Mainly because many fans want to see players with that love the shirt, guys. They want to see players that love the shirt. That's why many fans will turn out to the San Siro if this will happen. If this signing happens, but Galliani also has to think of this. If they do get him, of course the attendance will increase and increase for sure. Many fans actually will go to the San Siro to watch Milan if they sign Kaka. Of course, he's a fan favorite at Milan. But right now we don't have any more news on this, and we're gonna have to wait till Tuesday for the latest news on this player. Just some last comments before the end of this episode. JIC333 says, this is all nice that Kaka might come back, but they gotta get a defender as well. I've been mentioning this the whole episode, guys. It's good that Kaka might be coming, but we need a defender as well. And not to disappoint you guys, but I have to give you some bad news in terms of that. Galliani has mentioned that if they do sign Kaka, it will be the last signing of the January transfer window. Now, there's two sides to look at this. This is the last thing I will be talking about. There's two sides to be looking at this in terms of what Galliani said. One side is the true side, saying that Kaka will be the last signing they will make this transfer season. Of course, what did they get? Saponara only. We only got Saponara this season, this transfer window. Kaka will be the last signing they will make. That's what he's saying. But on the other side, we obviously know how Galliani is. He's a lot of talk. He talks a lot, and in the end, he does the business. Many times he surprised us last second, and he has gotten us a champion. Many times he has even explained to us the motives of why it would be the last signing, and then he went out of his way and got a player out of nowhere. So there's two sides to look at what Galliani said at the moment. And we will only find out in the next few weeks of this January transfer market, which is 13 days away from closing. Obviously, next week will be a very crucial week for Milan to see their last thoughts, their last things that they'll be talking about during the transfer market. And Kaka might become once again a Milan player this Tuesday. I will honestly keep you guys in as much give you guys as much information as possible on this throughout the days. Just reading some last comments here. LP Jr. says Kaka would be a good signing because he's been schooled the Milan way, exactly, which will give us experience and help out the youngsters, especially Esharawi, who idolize. As I said, Kaka is a very influential player, brings a lot of motivation to the team. So we're gonna have to see, first of all, if he will be coming to Milan, which I really hope he does. At the same time, to see what he could bring to the Milan side once again. So that's about it, guys, for the episode. Don't forget, the next game for Milan will be on January 19th against Bologna at the San Siro, which will be a very crucial game, of course, as it is every game nowadays in this 2012-2013 season. We need as many points as possible. So this Sunday, I believe, yeah, against Bologna, January 19 will be the next game for Milan. Actually, I think there's a mistake here. It will be on January 20th. That's right, on Sunday, January 20th. So don't look at this. It's supposed to be January 20th, 2013 on Sunday. There has been a mistake on that, and Milan will be playing on January 20th instead. As of course, sometimes they do change the calendars the week before. They look at other things such as if they're playing Coppa Italia, if the side has proceeded or not in the competition. Just making sure for you guys, because I want you obviously not to miss the game if it happens. Let me just check this, guys. So yes, Milan will be playing on the 20th. So correction, Milan will not be playing on January 19th, but they will be playing on January 20th, Sunday, at 3 p.m. local time. I think that is 2 p.m. in GMT time, and if you live in North America, that will be 9 a.m. Eastern time. So also, don't forget, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do to AC Milan MTL. As usual, I post Milan match reports after every game, and also give out news from Milan when there is. As well as, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at AC Milan MTL for news and live match feeds during Milan games. And if you don't have Twitter, just follow me on Facebook, AC Milan MTL, for the same thing. If you have both, just do the same, follow and link. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. This has been AC Milan MTL here on episode 3 of the January transfer window. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on Sunday for the Milan-Bologna match report. Forza Milan!